Welcome to the Hilburn Academy 6th grade. This is Miss Boop's iArts class. Today we are going to be modeling what a fishbowl looks like. So as you can see, we have an inner circle right here. It's small because we have a small class in this class. And then we have an outer circle with students sitting on the outer circle. A fishbowl has two circles. The center circle, the students will be discussing questions that the teacher is posing. On the outer circle, students are taking notes, writing down ideas, their thoughts and beliefs about what is being said in the inner circle. On the outer circle, students are then able to tap in and out. That means they will stand up quietly, tap on the shoulder of somebody in the inner circle, and then they will take their place and get their turn to say what they want to say. Hilburn Academy is a STEAM school. That's a science, technology, engineering, arts, and math school. We're going to be discussing a couple questions today that relate to STEAM education. So, hi class, our first question today is, how do you use STEAM education in your everyday life? Once again, my inner circle will be discussing and my outer circle will be taking their notes. So, inner circle, once again, how do you use STEAM education in your everyday life? Think about it and begin.
Well, first of all, let's say your mom goes to the store and she wants to buy a bunch of things for like a party you're going to have, and she needs to buy like a bunch of food. She would have to use math to add the prices and estimate and all that to know how much it's going to cost so that she can bring that much, or yeah.
If she had to decorate for the party, what would that also include?
That would include like you would have to buy more things.
What other part of STEAM would it include, though?
I think he's trying to say it would include arts,
engineering, and tax, or like when you have to buy stuff, it also costs that. So.
Okay, keep discussing.
Okay. I believe that STEAM helps us in our everyday lives in like ways that we don't even understand. When we open a door, we don't think about it, but there's engineering and math right there on the hinges and the doorknob and the way it turns and the way that everything goes back in. Also, when your parents go out and say, oh, I'm going to go to the grocery store, BRB in 15 minutes, I don't know. Well, then when they're there, they're going to have to buy stuff, and of course, things aren't free, so they have to use math to decide tax, how much everything is going to cost, their budget limit, and other things like that.
And also, not just that you're buying it, but there are machines that they scan the item and see how much it costs, and then they can scan the credit card. That can take math and engineering and a little bit of science if you think about it.
But like for technology, like anything man-made is technology, so we use like technology all around us.
Or like computers, pencils, desks, anything like that.
A great example of engineering is the Great Wall of China, or better yet, rocket ship. Just a while ago, these people designed a special rocket for this one guy who went to space, and it must have taken a lot of engineering and science and things like that to decide how this worked, because he jumped out and he was saved by the parachute when he was falling on purpose. And I just thought that would be a great example of engineering and science.
Brendan, do you have anything to say?
No, not really, except that I just agree with all of your examples.
Wow.
All right, so transitioning from STEAM education, how would your life be different if there were no engineers? So Lewis was starting to talk a little bit about it, but I want you guys to elaborate and discuss as a group. Remember, in our projects, for our project-based learning that we've been doing, we've been talking about civil engineers and industrial engineers and also materials engineers. But I would like for you to think about all different types of engineers, even nuclear engineers, electrical engineers. How would your life be different if there were no engineers?
Our life would be different because there was no engineers, no TV, no computer, no cars, no buildings, no bridges, nothing.
So, what you're trying to say is that without engineers, there wouldn't be any people who ever invented anything. So therefore, technically, we would have never had the first tools that helped us learn about how to survive and stuff. And so we would have never gotten to where we are in technology today.
So say if the nuclear engineers, I don't know why I took them, but if we didn't have them, we wouldn't have nuclear power plants, which are sometimes a bad thing, but are sometimes a very good thing. So, yeah, we wouldn't have those.
I'm seeing that some people on our outer circle haven't tapped in and haven't got to voice their opinions yet. Please come in. All right, Cruz.
If we didn't have engineers, we wouldn't have a lot of things like that.
Can you elaborate on that?
We wouldn't have all the things that we use in our daily lives.
Can you talk about what you use in your daily life?
We need a way to get to school every day.
So my next question that relates to STEAM education is that there's STEM education and then there's STEAM education. STEAM adds the arts. Why do you think that Hillburn Academy added the arts? And what do you think is so important about the arts? Remember, the arts includes humanities, which includes subjects like social studies. It also includes things like visual arts. It includes theater and music. It relates to culture, just like our cultural artifact portion of our Mesoamerica project. So why do you think Hillburn Academy added the arts, and why are the arts important?
I think they're important because if we didn't have the arts, then we wouldn't have, like, I don't know, if we didn't have arts, we wouldn't have, like, music or, like, some of the things that we do in social studies would not be there. We wouldn't do so much on them, or we wouldn't have IR or something like that.
If we had no color, if we had no art, we wouldn't have any color or designs on buildings or places.
Arts also includes stuff like culture and things like that, and like different cultures from like way back then to now. Like they have like special dances that they would do, and different forms of entertainment like music and dancing and singing and music and stuff, drawing,
Very good.
stuff like that.
Girls, what do you have to say and add to the discussion?
Okay, I think arts can also help us by, like, when we draw things out for math, like models for a problem, it can help us solve problems.
What'd you have to draw artistically before you made your artifact and your insulated home?
We had to draw a blueprint, blueprints help so that, like, let's say you're making a house and you need a detailed blueprint. If you just go ahead and just put together a house, you might leave something out because you didn't have it written down or something, and you kind of forgot. So if you forgot that you needed like wind beams to support a floor, you'd be like buildings like that.
Very good. We have time for one last quick question. I want you to tell me which part of STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts, and math, you think is the most important. If you think that one is more important than any of the other ones.
I'm sorry, but I never got to answer the last question. I think that arts is also important. I'm sorry, this is off topic, but arts are also important because in places like ancient Egypt or something, if we never had those proof of that there were people back then and what they were doing, we would be very, how do I say it? The past would be vague in our mind. It would be pretty blank on the scale of what we know back then.
Very good.
History is very important.
So now I want you guys to talk as a group, discuss, analyze, and evaluate which of the 5, science, technology, engineering, arts, and math, do you think is the most important? If you think one is more important than the others. Go.
I think that none of them are more important than each other. So let's say there was like, you just had math, there was only math, then you might be able to like add numbers and maybe add prices or something. But without engineering, people wouldn't know how to like make what you were going to buy or like add prices or whatever. Like you wouldn't even have clothes or like you wouldn't have house, you wouldn't have places like that, and you wouldn't have lots of stuff.
Who disagrees with him? Okay. Madison, Lewis, somebody discuss.
I believe that science is the most important. I believe that because there are so many things today that we use science for, or you know what? I just out my words. I believe that technology is the most important. If you think about it, every American's pretty much like obsessed with technology. Whether it's smartphones, whether it's technology for blips, whether it's technology for TVs, whether it's technology for cameras, whether it's technology for YouTube or internet stuff. We use technology as if it's a child, or not a child, but you get what I mean. We use it all the time. It's like an unbreakable habit. And technology is a good habit to have because not only does it make our lives easier, but it also saves our lives and makes it simpler. Like on a plane, for example, if one of the engines breaks, you want to know that the engine's broken, so there's technology to tell you that. Not to mention, without technology, there would be no plane in the first place. Also, the person that just got handed out said earlier that there would be no houses or no clothes or anything, but unless it was handmade, which would take much longer, technology also helps make those. If you've ever heard of power tools, or you ever heard of mass production, or things like that, it would take much longer to make everything. And if you've ever been to New York, you know that everybody there is fast-paced, and we're all like that deep inside, so it's kind of like technology helps us not have to wait forever.
All right, perfect. That's all we have time for today. Thank you for participating and for a successful Fishbowl.